the killer of the murderer of the United Healthcare CEO. It appears that he has been apprehended. He was apprehended in a McDonald's, identified by somebody in a McDonald's who thought he looked like the picture. They have arrested him. They found a gun in his backpack that looks like the gun that was used. It actually looks like they have their man. And his name is Luigi Mangione, but he, for all account, he is not a mafia hitman. He is, we don't know yet exactly his motives and everything else, but he is a guy who seems to have been sympathetic to the Unabomber. He seems to have been motivated in his murder of the United Healthcare CEO, not by any particular insurance issue, although we'll see, maybe we'll still find something. But it at least appears, as of now, that he might just have been motivated by a kind of a leftist, anti-capitalist ideology that drove him to pick a particularly, what he considered a particularly offensive CEO and go and shoot him. It really does look like he is a lone gunman. This is not some big conspiracy, but it also doesn't look like he has any specific grievance. I mean, one of the assumptions was, or one of the theories was, that the gunman who shot the CEO of United Healthcare comes from a family, I don't know, that was denied insurance and somebody died, and he felt like offended by, they felt that an injustice has been done to them, and they have a right to health care, and they went after the CEO of the insurance company that denied them coverage. But it does not seem like that is what motivated him. It seems like what motivated him was a much more general opposition to capitalism. Now, we will find out much more. We don't yet know. It is interesting to note that this guy is not some, I don't know, hot up, this guy has a bachelor's and a master's degree in computer science from University of Pennsylvania, an Ivy League university. He was a valedictorian, I think, in his high school. Highly intelligent. He comes from a very prominent, I think, Maryland family, a wealthy family, and so we're not talking about somebody whose capitalism has really destroyed their lives and has many personal grievances against capitalism. We're talking about somebody who is part of this, is being successful within the system, or at least being successful vis-a-vis education. He's young. He's in his 20s, but someone who seems like has been ideologically radicalized. And ideologically radicalized, there's a review he did of the Unabomber manifesto. If you remember, the Unabomber was, again, a very intelligent person who believed that humanity was destroying the environment and therefore destroying itself, and sent packages and killed people, packages with bombs, and killed people, all in the name of environmentalism. So hopefully, and says his grievance is the profit motive. Yes, I think that's right. Now, again, I'll keep track of this case because it's interesting. And to the extent, it's going to be interesting to see to what extent this is a cultural barometer. The number of people supporting the killing of the CEO of United Healthcare is truly astounding and scary. We live in a truly scary world, a world where there is a significant percentage of people who hate capitalism, despise capitalism, despise the profit motive. Linda Mansour says, not Maryland. Oh, You're not saying I was wrong about Maryland. You're just saying, not Maryland. Anyway, this guy is, Linda lives in Maryland. Yeah, I mean, he is cousins with one of your state legislatures. So I guess he has a cousin in the state legislature of Maryland. And he comes from a pretty prominent Maryland family that owns several country clubs, including the Hayesfield Country Club in Hunt Valley, as well as healthcare facilities and real estate companies in the Baltimore area. Luigi, the guy who got arrested, is the cousin of Maryland Republican delegate Nino Mangione, who represents parts of Baltimore County. Luigi's late grandfather, Nicholas Mangione Sr., was a self-made real estate developer who owned country clubs, nursing homes, and a radio station. His grandmother, Mary, who died in 2023 from Parkinson's disease, was described in an obituary as a hospital benefactor and a music patron. So he comes from a rich family. Not rich, he didn't create any wealth, but he comes from a family that's quite rich. This is pretty typical, I think, of leftist radicals and leftist activists. Yeah, I mean, I'm still pretty amazed at the way he killed. The way he just, he went up and how cool he was, and how it just, I don't know, what, you get practice in computer games, but just the evil of just going up and shooting another human being and just killing a human being you don't even know. Not somebody you might have a grievance against, a personal grievance against, but just somebody because you ideologically disagree with them. Hopefully we don't see copycats. Hopefully we don't see other people trying to do the same thing. Hopefully this isn't a start of some kind of horrible movement that targets corporate leaders in the United States. This guy, I'm just looking through some of his profile. He is an avid reader. He has a bunch of books that he's read on Goodreads. He has anyway. And you're going to see a lot of support for him. You're going to see a lot of support from him from the crazy anti-capitalist left. And I think we'll learn a lot about our culture once we see what kind of level of support he gets, whether it's just limited to kind of crazy left, or whether it gets any kind of mainstream, and whether kind of the crazy right jumps on this bandwagon again. Because remember, a lot of people are anti-capitalist. He's not the only, the left is not the only ones that are anti-capitalist. Supposedly he's also uploaded a bunch of videos that go live once he gets arrested. So supposedly, maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of disinformation here. A lot of disinformation, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. All right. So that's where we are. I think this is, how big of a cultural moment this is hard to tell. I mean, it basically, the fact that so many people cheered on the shooting of an executive in an insurance company is culturally horrific. Whether that is sustained and whether that gains momentum will, to a large extent, determine whether whether this is indicative of a culture, or just a moment that that passes, and and whether they're copycats, and whether this launches some kind of movement will determine this could be just a one-off that disappears.